Hey everyone, it is Monique here, and I would love to share with you a very cool conscious creation story. And it goes like this. I'm leaving New Zealand soon, and I have decided to first go to Byron Bay, Australia, because it has always been one of my favorite places on the planet. And this will be the fourth time that I will visit Byron Bay. And it's 9 years ago since I last was there. So I wrote a couple of people if they knew of people that were renting out rooms, because I don't want to do Airbnb or hotel for obvious reasons, or maybe it's not that obvious. Check out the prices in Byron Bay, and then and then you'll probably understand what I mean. And I love to live with someone, and I had a preference of living as close to town as possible, because one of the things that I love to do in Byron Bay is the Lighthouse Walk, which is a walk to the lighthouse. And the lighthouse is on the most easterly point of Australia, and it is stunning. And I have so many good memories of my time in Byron Bay, of at least the 3 times I was there. The very first time I was there, it's a bit of a different story, so I won't go into that. In any case, you know how people say, yeah, but forget about it. You're better off doing blah, 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 blah. I never listen to that ever. I know that it is possible because I have created, manifested, well, everything is a manifestation, so I like to say consciously created many impossible things, especially with regards to housing in cities like Berlin and Amsterdam, where everyone always says it is undoable, and if it's doable, you're paying such a high price, it's not even funny. I never listen to that. I know the power of creation, and I know the power of focus. So what happened was I had two options. One option was a really lovely woman, and she has a cat shelter, and it's a 30-minute drive from Byron Bay. And I thought, I'd rather not rent a car, and I'd rather be a bit more central, because I just love to do everything by foot, to be honest. And so the second option which came to me was a lady who lives 13 minutes by bike from the town center and about 45 minutes by foot. And it was also very doable price-wise. Both of them were. But still, somehow I thought, yeah, but this is not quite it. I would be settling. And you know how Neville speaks about do not condition your desire. He literally says this. If you have a desire, it comes from God, and it is possible when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Do not condition your desire. And conditioning means that the human mind jumps in and starts to say, yeah, but maybe I should say yes to this because it is impossible and this sounds very good. It's like the story of Barbados. If you have never heard of the story of Barbados, because that's a Neville staple, I will give you the gist in short. So Neville wants to go to Barbados, and before he was teaching the teachings that he has been teaching ever since, the teachings that you, if you know a little bit about him, know now. So the story of Barbados was his teacher, Abdullah, told him when he wanted to go to Barbados to be with his family, but he didn't have any money and no way to get there because of difficulty was in the States and not so many boats were going, and difficulty after difficulty and challenge. And Abdullah told him, "You are not going to Barbados, you are in Barbados, and you went to Barbados first class." Now, you know what I'll do? I'll find the story and I'll put the link in the description because it's very much worth it to listen to the story told by Neville in his own voice. So he wasn't allowed to condition the desire because at one point there was a ticket for him, got paid by his brother unexpectedly, and there was a place, but in second class. And when Neville was really happy that he had created passage to Barbados, second class, he goes to Abdullah to tell him the happy news. And Abdullah says, "Who says you went to Barbados? You are in Barbados and you went first class." And he slams the door in his face. So Neville was conditioning his desire by almost taking the second class ticket. So I could feel in my body, I thought, yeah, but this is not it. I want something else. Then my friend, who I was considering staying with, she lives in Lismore and she has a place for me where I can stay. She lives on a property with her husband and her 2 kids. And while I would love to see her, I thought, I don't really feel like being with so many people in Lismore. I want to be in the center of Byron Bay. So I told her that I was looking at something, and then she says, I hadn't even asked her. I asked around, but I didn't ask her. And she says, "Oh, you know what? I know of someone. I will check with her if she still rents out rooms." I lived with her before I met Andy, her now husband. And so she asked her, and she gave me her number. And then I got in touch with this lady, and she said, "I already told Flavia, my friend, I already told her that someone else is checking out the room today, so someone else might take it." And I thought, interesting. Something that would be perfect because this lady lives in the city center. She lives like a 7-minute walk from town, which is really close to the lighthouse. And I know this area because I've lived in Byron Bay before for a couple of months. And so I thought, isn't this interesting? Now I find the perfect place, and there might be someone else that takes it instead of me. And then I thought, no, whose bubble is this? This is my reality. So can I allow myself to have this room? Even though I wish for the lady because she wants to rent it out as soon as possible, and I'm coming later than this girl could have started to rent it. And so I hope for her that both of them, that they have a nice deal, right? But I hope for me that I can rent it because it's exactly what I want. It's large, it has a lot of privacy, it's in the city center, it's a friend of my friends. Like, it just felt good. I thought, I want this. And then my mind went into, maybe I should take the other thing. And I thought, no, I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to take the risk and I'm going to go for this. I'm betting my horses on the fact that I can have this place. So what did I do? Nothing really. I just stated, this is my reality. And in my reality, I can have what I want. Everyone else can have what they want in their reality. And this is my bubble. So in my bubble, this is what happens. And so today I followed my highest excitement. Very unexpectedly did a pretty intense walk called the Escarpment Track. Didn't plan it at all. All of the shit that I had with me, not even a backpack, but like a shoulder bag, and it's a 2.5 hour walk if you're a fit person, and there are a lot of climbs and yeah. So, but I thought, yeah, this is perfect. This is perfect for me to stay in the perfect state, the state of the wish fulfilled. Bashar teaches us that we should always follow our highest excitement without being attached to the outcome. Because when we are in our joy, in our highest excitement, we are in the frequency where things can come to us easily. And it's not that we do it for that reason, but we are in that state then because of the reason that we follow the highest excitement. So I wasn't attached, but I had a really good feeling about this. And so, well, you guess where this is going probably. A couple of hours later, she messages me, "The room is yours." And I am grateful and I'm also not surprised. Whereas I know I have experienced in my life that there was someone else that then got the thing that I wanted. And I have decided that this is not my reality anymore. There is no one else. I am the one that calls the shots in my bubble of reality. What anyone else creates, they can create and they can have it in their bubble, but not in mine. So, yeah, everyone told me, no, not everyone. A lot of people told me this is not possible. It's too hard. Byron Bay changed too much. The prices in Byron Bay are ridiculous. This is not gonna work. And I thought, well, you don't know me. And here we go. So the moral of the story is, whatever it is that you wish for, this is doable. Understand the mechanics. Understand how this reality works. It's not about pushing and shoving. It's about assuming the state of the wish fulfilled. It is not about bursting a blood vessel to become in that state. You become more naturally, you can step more naturally in the state of the wish fulfilled when you as a person understand how the law works and you've been playing with it for longer. You are not attached to the outcome and you don't condition your desire. And I know it's super paradoxical to not be attached to something that you want. But the thing is, when you're attached to it and you're like, I have to have it, you are in resistance. And the resistance is exactly the thing that keeps it away from you. Because when you have it, when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are calm, you're secure, you're confident, and you know that it is yours. So, if you have any questions about this, I love this stuff. So just either send me an email or drop a comment in the comments underneath this video. Have fun with this because we are in physical reality to test our powers. We came here, spirits in human form, to play with our creative powers. And so it is time. It is time for you to also step into whatever it is that you wish to create for yourself. You're not taking away anything from anyone else because this is your bubble of reality. Yes, we are co creating. Yes, you're listening to a video that I made. No, I have no clue what you are creating in your bubble, as you don't know what I'm creating in my bubble. And you can have everything in yours, as I can have everything in mine. This is it for now. I trust that you got something really valuable out of this video. Have such a wonderful, beautiful rest of the day. Oh, you know what I'll also do? In the description, I'll put a link to my free series, How to Recreate Your Life in 10 Weeks. And in this series, you will find everything that I did and some things still do myself to get myself in a super clean and clear physical nervous system state so that I am the most powerful when consciously creating anything. Okay, a fit mind creates a beautiful body and an epic life. I will see you in the next. Ciao.